So, greetings everyone. Welcome to the 13th episode of Arunachala Ramana Chintanam. So, yesterday we went deep into how Gautama Rishi is talking about the various tirthas around Arunachala. We saw how Brahma, Vishnu, and many other goddesses, which is nothing but these tattvas, what I am explaining. They did their tapas and they also evolved, they ascended. Everybody is ascending. Like we saw in the early scripts that 96 times the Brahma dissolved. So you can see the role of Brahma also is not permanent, or the role of Vishnu is not permanent. They come and go, they keep coming and going. So these positions you can say are changing because everything is evolving. Can you see everything is step by step evolving? You can say the lower going to the highest. You can simply say that everybody is occupying step by step the higher position. You can see many stories of Indra, how Indra is unhappy, or he is jealous, or he is insecure. Indra is jealous about his position. What will happen to my position? So, if somebody is evolving, you can see this many times stories where Indra is trying to attack. Why? Because somebody is evolving, he feels his seat is at threat. Insecurity, a lot of insecurity is there. So, Indra, you can see in many stories, sending obstacles to seekers, to yogis, because he's scared of his chair. So you can see even these positions are changeable and they are not permanent. As one evolves, we go through all these stages. Indra, the meaning of Indra is the one who has won over the Indriyas. Indra is that tattva in us, which has gone beyond and mastered the Indriyas, the senses. So these are all deep tattvas again, I'm telling. These are all inwardly, if you see microcosmic, these are all very, very deep. So this only tattvas are projected outside and have taken these story forms. Yes, the outside also happens. It's not that it doesn't happen. Inside and outside, everything happens. Like for example, if we are in a state of sleep, that is what Bhagavan Ramana and Arunachala Tattva very clearly explains, that we are in a deep state of sleep and what's projecting outside is like a dream. This whole thing that we feel that we are here and all, it's actually a kind of dream that's happening. So you look here only, it is a dream, it is not there actually, but it is still there. Experientially, we are experiencing this, right? We are fully experiencing this. It looks real. We cannot just say Maya. Like whatever we go through, the sufferings and all, it's so real. At the same time, as we evolve and move out of, I know, or as we get higher or the consciousness increases and the realization increases and we understand that no, this is a lower reality which we thought is that way. We have outgrown it now. Like how a kid feels in the start, how a child feels in the start. It's all false. You look at your childhood and you'll see what the hell was that. I used to cry for a small toy. I used to throw tantrums and how all I was. Silly, petty things. They were like life to me. But today, you can laugh over it. Why you have evolved over it? So, evolution which takes place, when we arise above it, we understand the earlier thing which was there is not true. It's not real. Like look at your childhood, you can laugh for it. So, in the same manner as we evolve deeper and go inside, we understand the outside is all false. The outside, which once the world you took once very serious. Now, when you are evolving, you will understand there's nothing in that. It's a hoax and fake world in which you invested so much of time and so much of seriousness. You understand it's all fakeness. When you understand it's all fakeness, it's like a dream. You don't take anything seriously, you're not interested in it. So the outside loses interest. Inward, more you realize the truth, outside becomes false. Same way, as we evolve higher and higher position, the lower position becomes useless. Same way, as we go more and more inside, the outside has no. So mythology doesn't matter there. So we should not get into these debates also whether Ramayana happened or did not happen. Is it a story or not story? Please know everything is a projection and it can happen. It happened and it vanished like a dream. Ramayana, Mahabharata. Are you getting the point? But what are they? They are all projections of the inward consciousness. Inward collective consciousness, when projected outside, it takes format of outward collective conscious events. Now you see wars happened, great wars and world wars and this and what are these? These are the collective consciousness, inward collective consciousness. You have a war in your head, I have a war in my head, my neighbor has a war in my head, everybody has wars in their head. We are mentally having wars with each other. We are not at peace. So that is the inward state of the collective consciousness. Collectively, a religion set of people, they have a certain vibration. Collectively, another religion has another vibration. Collectively, all these religion put together, it becomes one equation. Whatever is there, the war or peace or love or hatred or whatever is there. So that which is inside, that is projected out. That manifests outside as the outer reality. So that becomes wars, that becomes famines, floods, earthquakes, tsunamis, fires, group karma. Group people get, in a group, people have the fruits of the group karma. All these things are actually internal. So, internally, when we are collective, that projects outside and it becomes a outward reality. What is inside is outside. Mythology is also like that. The Ramayana, Mahabharata, this is all happening inside. Collectively, they become all a drama, a collective drama outside. So you, so there is no point in telling whether it's real or not real. There is no understanding in that, because it's just like asking, is the dream real? The dream is real when you are dreaming. The samsara is real when you are here interacting with the samsara. The moment you are gone from here, it's not real. Your family is real until you die. After you die, you have a different yatra. New stuff happens. Then, in that state, you look back and say, this is a drama. Are you getting it? In this lifetime, whatever we are saying, this is very serious. This is mine, that is mine, this problem, that problem. This should have been this way, that should have been that way. You don't know how serious I am. You don't know what I'm going through. You don't know the situations of my family conditions. Okay. That's your this dream. You're in this dream. That is why you're so serious. Suppose you remember your previous dream. Let's say, let's just say you remember your previous dream. Suddenly, what will happen? You imagine that will come to light. That will become so real. Suddenly, you have a different father, different mother, different wife, different children, and then you are into that circuit. That's your reality. How will you feel? Suddenly, just think about it. Everything comes forward. All the pending things and this and that, and then you start remembering, oh my God, then you'll start taking that serious because you are in that dream. Now, what will happen to this lifetime family drama? When you're in that dream, that is serious. When you're in this dream, this is serious. Ramayana, Mahabharata, all this is serious when it happens. When it is happening that time. Today, it's a memory. Isn't your past a memory right now? You enter into the past, it can be true for you. So, in the moment, whatever is happening, that is true for you. So, what is reality? Now. In the now, what is happening? That is the reality. So, there is no point in asking, did Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesha, did they really do it? You enter into that dimension, that point of time, it is real in the outside. Of course, all these are real only when you come outside. When you are deeply inside, no. See, we are reading Arunachala Mahima. Okay. This is good when you are contemplating on the Arunachala Mahima. But let's say you are meditating and you got into deep samadhi or you are sleeping. Where is Arunachala Mahima? It is not available until you come out outside. बाहिमुखी जब तक नहीं होते तब तक नहीं होता. So Ramayana, Mahabharata, all these things are happening in the outside consciousness. If you are outside, when the collective consciousness is outside, all these outside event like a dream, it takes place. You go inside, it all vanishes. Pralay. So where are we is the question. Are we internally seated in these experiences, or are we outside, external? If it is external, then all these things will be very, very true. So if your state of consciousness, let's say, is always outside, then you will be caught up in all these things, outside things only. You will go for outside worship. You will be only in the outside mahima. But why are you going around, even in Arunachala? Why are you worshipping temples, gods, tirthas? Why are you doing that? So one day it has to end by taking a dip. The holy dips, Vishnu, Brahma, they attained salvation. When are we going to attain salvation? Our story doesn't stop only. Oh, it is prescribed, so we have to do it. Yeah, it is prescribed. According to prescription only, Brahma went and did tapas. In the Brahma Tirtha, he had a dip and he did the parikrama. Whatever was prescribed, he did it. But he evolved beyond it, right? So evolution is what we must look at, not just the story part. So you're looking at what happened to Brahma and Vishnu, then look at what happened to how can you conclude it? 96 Brahmas dissolved before. So 96 different times, different stories in the same format. Are you getting the whole thing? So the positions keep changing. It's our inner state. When we win over our senses, when the Chitta Akasha, the Chitta is Shuddha, pure, that Chitta only is known as Airavathati, the white elephant. White stands for purity, pure consciousness. Chitta, it stands for the mind consciousness. When it is fully purified, then risen above the Indriyas, it is Indra. Indra is a king. So I become the king of my Indras. Indriyas, I am Indra. Internally, it's a state of consciousness. Externally, it projects as a story. So we understood how different sadhanas are given by Shiva to the existence, and according to which yuga we are in, the sadhanas are prescribed. So this is not forever. If, let me remind you, there will also come a time when Devi Kalotra opens up. Then what? What will you say? Think about it. Oh, this is true. Shiva has prescribed. Okay, we have to do this. But Shiva is telling, give it up also. So why is that? At this level, if your consciousness is at this level, external, lower, in the gross, Shiva gives you this prescription. If your consciousness rises, like Parvati's consciousness rises and she's telling, give me Brahma again, Shiva will give Devi Kalotra. And he'll say, now give up all these things. You don't need. The same Shiva, which is prescribing here, taking a holy dip in these sacred tirthas will give you liberation. The same Shiva is telling to Parvati, forget all the holy dips in the holy waters, holy rivers. So it might look contradictory. It's not contradictory. It's from the state of evolution. To a small kid who's obsessed with his little bicycle or her little toy that the baby is playing with, the child is playing with. You take it away, she'll not eat food for the whole day. The boy will sulk if the bicycle is not given. He might cry, fret, and fume. It is for him like the end of the world. Just like an adult behaves when he loses something very close. How crazy does the man become? When something that is very dear or near or attained is taken away. What is the state of mind of that adult? Exactly like that, the state of mind of the child when his little bicycle or her little toy is taken away. Now you look at these two state of consciousness. Can you cross check? A child will never understand what is it losing a girlfriend or boyfriend or husband or wife or losing a house. A child will never understand that pain because a child is not obsessed or attracted or connected to these tattvas, doesn't know that. What it knows is the bicycle or the toy. So that's the word for the child. Now you place the adult into this. For an adult, if a bicycle goes or if a toy goes, the adult will not even have a second thought. So how, if you see, this is contradictory. To a child, you may say, play with it. To a child, you may say, don't worry, if your toy is lost, I will get you another toy. If the child is crying like anything, you feed it, you tell it, don't, I'll get you better things. But if an adult loses a toy, can you do all these things? It will simply be told, forget it. Are you crazy? It's only a toy, right? Now, how can you say that it's a contradiction? You'll say, hey, just now you told one person, don't worry, and you pacified it, and you said, I'll get you another toy. To other, you're scolding. Okay, so it might look like a contradiction actually. It's very funny, right? You might say, one guy you're scolding, one guy you're pacifying. How contradictory, double faced are you? No, to a child you talk differently, to an adult you talk differently. Child means the one who is outwardly, you have to give all this. The one who has risen above it, you don't talk these things. You can simply tell Parvati, leave it. But Parvati, if she is still confused, she can ask then, why did you give all these things? That song is there, no? अगर मिले खुदा तो पूछूंगा खुदाया जिस्म मुझे दे के मिट्टी का शीशे सा दिल क्यों बना. So I'm going to ask that God, why did you give this body and why did you give a tender heart? This is a rigid body and why a tender heart? What is this? For a man, it's a serious thing. For the hero, it is a very, very serious thing who has lost his beloved. He's beating his chest and he's going to ask God, why did you do this? Why the hell did you do this? I'm going to ask you when the time comes. I'm going to demand an explanation. But the one who has seen all this and risen above all this, will he even demand an explanation? He'll smile, okay. They'll understand the whole thing. So we can ask God, then why? Parvati can ask, then why did you give it? If you had to take it away, why did you give it? Like this song says, if you had to take it away, why did you give it? And that is the time Shiva says, that is needed for somebody else, not for you. You have risen above it. You leave it. Somebody still needs it, let them do it. Are you getting the whole journey? So, this is how we must look at things. We are in both the worlds. When we mature spiritually, we understand the child also. We cannot look at a child and say, hey, what kind of toys you want? Just shut up and sit there. You're playing with the toy. Are you fool or something like that? What is there in that toy? I don't know how you guys sit playing with the toy. But a mature person knows that I also once played with the toy. So you can understand the pain of that child. What he'll say? Play. But I don't want to play. Will you go and sit in your room and playing with another because the child is playing? I'll also play. No, you don't need it. Child need it. You allow the child to do it. So there is a child in us that understands that. Right? So this way we understand this also. When it comes to devotion, when it comes to any external practice, karma kanda and all that, somebody else is doing, but I'm not feeling the need to do it. Let them do it. And once in a while, if I'm in the group and something comes to me, an opportunity, I will do it. What's the big deal in that? Like when the child is playing, your child is playing there, and the child says, come, Papa, or come, Mama, sit with me. I have cooked food. Little toys, they have cooked food. What will you do? Not to disappoint the child. You are playing with the child. Okay, you'll say, okay, serve me food. You will also go and sit. And the child will play, and you fake and eat as though, and the child is happy, you are happy. Khatam. You get up and go, you smile internally. But you played the role well. That's how we play the role here. If a temple comes, if a masjid comes, whatever comes, and whatever comes, you don't deny it. There is no point in denying because you are involved. It's inclusion. Shiva Tattva means inclusion. There is nothing you can exclude. And that doesn't mean only Shiva's instruments. If you see a masjid, and if you have the opportunity to bow down. Like this only, like the child. What is going to go? You see a church and somebody invites you, or a friend is going, your friend is a Christian, and you go and say, come with us, you go. Sit there, kneel down. What is going to go? So the spiritual ego is very dangerous. You say, I will not kneel down. I will not bow down to their gods. The moment you say they are and your God, you are never a child of Shiva. Chaitanya Mahatma is Shiva's teaching. Everything I am. Then either you don't understand him or you don't want to understand Shiva because of this spiritual ego of division. Mahishasura is sitting, dividing himself. Khand karke baitha hai sab. Vibhajan. And this is the biggest challenge I see in Seeker'S. And I am so glad that people who are following this, shifting into awareness, they do not have any barriers. And that's very good. Be very happy and proud about yourself on that. That you don't have any barriers. Don't belong to anything. Belong to everything but belong to nothing. Don't belong to any religion. Don't belong to any cult. Don't belong to any tradition. Don't belong to any culture. Belong to everything. It should be such that if you are given an opportunity in that, the people in that tradition should feel ashamed that you know better than them. Be a master of all religions, all paths, anything that you have to practice, excel and show them. You are not just faking things. I can do that. I do it. You ask me to read a namaz, you ask me to follow all the instructions of Islam, I'll do that. You ask me to do any kind of Hindu stuff, I'll do that much better than the Hindus themselves. Much with full knowledge about it, with full understanding, experience about it. In fact, I can tell them how to do it better. The Christianity you ask me to do, I'll do it. Gurudwara you will do it. Because there has never been an objection. There has never been a division. Everything is God. Everything is one only. I'm telling you, personally, I've seen in all religions, all the paths also, all the cults also, all systems I have seen, there is nothing extraordinary in one. Guaranteed. I can write it in my blood and give it. This ecosystems of saying this is better, that is not better, ours is great, theirs is all false. Experientially, if you are a deep meditator, you want to experience that oneness, you want to experience a samadhi, you go through Islam, you go through Sikhism, you go through Jainism, Buddhism, Hinduism, Christianity, whichever ism you go through, the experience is the same. Consciousness, the experience is the same. If you can stop giving names and titles to that consciousness, you'll experience it's nirguna nirakara. But immediately, the asura of khanda will pop up in our head. The moment we experience something, we'll say, this is my Shiva. And bagal mein beta will say, this is my Jesus, God. The other will say, this is my Vaheguru. The other will say, this is Allah, Khuda. Who's correct? All are correct, all are wrong. All are correct because the experience is correct. All are wrong because they are dividing it with different names. What they are all accessing is nirguna, nirakara. If you have understood this, then that spirituality, that grace of Shiva or Shakti or God or Allah has worked in your life. If you have not understood it, still there is time. You have to keep banging in the diversities, and there is suffering in that. What you call suffering is all this banging, khand. Till you become a khand, there is no relief. So all these lessons of banging together is only to teach you that everything is one. Until we learn it, we are going to suffer. You check it out, you experience these things, you'll understand these things. So this evolution, what I'm telling, evolution part, when you come higher and higher, all these barriers goes. You want to check out how much you have evolved, how much you have progressed, the amount of oneness that is coming in you. Vasudeva Kutumbakam. That is your sign of evolution. There is no other sign. Because these barriers, that's the ego, that I am separate, this is separate, that separatedness, khand wala jo ek akad hai, ghamand hai, gurur hai, that arrogance of, you can see that, and you have to be deeply aware of this because that is the Mahishasura playing its role. How much ever Navaratras you do, how much ever Jagran you do, how much ever Shivratri night you are sit, but if you can't destroy this, it is of no use. The real grace of Navaratris and Shivratris is that Akhand, what Parashakti is telling. I will come only if it is Akhand kya Yuddha. If you are fighting the war to become one. If you are fighting wars to divide, Parashakti will never come. In Durga Shapsati. I have explained this in the Parashakti webinars. So the highest talks of oneness. How can there be division? We are sitting with some deep, all these deep tattvas. Where is there division? Can you see Ramana anytime talking difference? Can you see Nityananda talking? Then why do we have so much of arrogance in this breaking? And despite claiming we are devotees of Nityananda and Ramana, why? That is a that is the biggest obstacle that is there. Guarantee the achievement will not be there of that which we are seeking, that oneness. Because Shiva and Shakti doesn't talk about religions there. Consciousness. No Avaduta talks about divisions anywhere, not an iota. No Mahapurushas like Swami Samarth or Shirdi Sai Baba, Sabka Malik Ek, Fakir plus Malaleshwari, Hindu plus Muslim. Nityananda, Ramana, you see where there is division. Because they have that state of consciousness is there, they cannot see difference in anything. I was telling you, right? Nityananda used to not even see difference between genders, difference between species, where Ramana used to see between species. For him, a dacoit and a police officer is the same. He is understanding according to their karmas, they are playing some roles. Can we be like that? I mean, at least from inside. That is our sadhana. Can we look at Ram and Ravana and understand the story between these both instead of taking sides? Very deep what I'm talking. Instead of taking any side, instead of rejecting any side. That is why these people like Bhagavan Ramana and all, they are beyond any judgments or conclusion. For them, there is no right or wrong. They cannot fall into that bracket. This is correct, this is wrong. Never. They see the right and wrong as simply plays. This is where we must contemplate on. This is where our full contemplation. If you understand this and then you do any sadhana, very simply you will evolve. So that rigidity is the problem. We keep the rigidity and then we do tapas. Like in Gangotri, this Mahapurusha told me, jitna jatil aham, utna jatil tapas. Listen to this carefully. Somebody in Gangotri, Mahapurusha is telling me this. One who spends in wilderness, who has been born, brought up there, and lived all these years and established in that state. He is telling, Jitna jatil aham, utna jatil tapasya. Means the more stronger your ego, that much stronger your sadhanas. That much you will need tapas. What is needed tapas to break that ego, right? And on one side, I don't want to give up the ego, and then I go on doing all kind of sadhanas, and then I keep a constipated face and see, look how much of hard work and tapasya. Why do you need hard work? Let go, yeah. Understand the oneness, understand the falseness of all these things. These concepts and ideas, mera dharam, uska dharam, ye, wo, and all those things. Just let go. And the moment you let go, you're free from all this. You don't need tapasya. If you understand this much, tapasya is need for rigidity. So that Mahapurusha told me, jitna jatil aham, ahankar, utna jatil uska tapasya. Then I will keep saying 30 years I did tapas, 40 years I did. Some will say thousands of years of tapas was done. Yesterday in that webinar I told, Mahagayatri is what we did, Antakarana Shuddhi. In that webinar, I told very clearly how Vishwamitra went to Vashishta Mahamuni to get the state of evolution because Vashishta is very established. So Maharishi Vashishta is a Brahmarshi and Vishwamitra is just a king. Now he is getting evolution. King, he represents us, Vishwamitra. A king who wants to go and win wars, wants to conquer, who's looking to expand, who has divisions, me and mine. I am greater than them. That is why the need to have wars and compete and conquer. Vishwamitra says. But when he looks at Vashishta, he says, I want to be like that. But when he enters into the ashram of Vashishta and he sees the Kamdenu guy there, the cow that is wish fulfilling, he becomes greedy. Though he has a lot of respect for Vashishta, he bows at his feet and takes says, bless me, grant me peace, grant me the success in whatever conquer I'm going to, that kind. Get me blessings. But the moment he sees that cow, Vashishta is whispering something to the cow and the cow is producing whatever. He says, wow. So if the one who has more desires will get immediately attraction. I always tell this, you have to be very careful. If you're In the samsara, and lot of desires have been there, and then you come into spirituality. And if you're not aware, you don't keep a check on your awareness, you'll see the same vasanas converting there in a divine form. Outside, first you wanted to conquer enemies, you wanted to conquer some business, you wanted to expand your property, you want to fight it out in the court, you want to simply establish control over others. And now I become spiritual. Vishwamitra becomes spiritual. He's an ordinary person. From there, he's becoming spiritual, but the vasanas will be there. So I come to spirituality, I go to an ashram, and there I want to expand my power. I go into spirituality, and there I want to become powerful, siddhis. And there also I want to control people. And there I want to be the supreme, and everybody is my slave. I cannot feel anybody rising. I don't want anybody to rise. Anybody who's rising, I see as a competitor. Indra. मेरा कुर्सी चला जाएगा. My throne will go. This guy is a threat. Let me get rid of him. Or let me put him down in such a way, demean him. Let me spread rumors about him. Let me tell, because I have got a good hold in spirituality. Let me tell the whole public that he's a crook. He did this, he's doing that, and spread all false rumors. Who's doing that? A jealous, insecure, Idra. Kissa kursi ka. Everybody's attention should be on me. How come somebody come and distribute that attention which I am getting? I'm getting the point. Same vasana it is, worldly vasana, now converted into a very nice spiritual vasana. So I put a mala, I grow a beard, I put a turban, I take a staff in my hand, and I hold a copy of some holy scripture, and I justify my actions through my spiritual dramas. Why? Lack of awareness, lack of authenticity, integrity hai nahi. I'm unable to see this. Vishwamitra is the same story it is. He has greed outside. He comes there. He has got a lot of respect. He is a meditator. He does all that. The moment he sees the calm, then I want that. Why? Bar wahi hai. The one who's going to conquer with armies. I want only, no. I want to conquer that. Now what happens in spirituality? He wants to conquer the Kamadhenu. Are you getting it? So if somebody is evolving in my clan, I want to conquer that guy. Otherwise, competitor. Shut that person down in so many ways. It's very, very funny, but you can see through it. I mean, little common sense is enough. You don't need sixth sense also. Simple common sense, if you look, you will come to see this very, very clearly. You can see the insecurity on the face itself, trembling. Unfortunate that we are not able to self-see it. That is why I'm teaching awareness. Without awareness, all your sadhanas, all your tapasyas, all your shouting glories of God and claiming to be a Shiva Bhakta. What kind of Shiva Bhakta is this? Your Shiva is so humble. Your Shiva is so humble. The one who says Har Har Mahadev, how much of this is there? Har Har Mahadev. Harna. Mahadev harta hai. क्या हरता है? ये गलत फहमियों को. He removes the ignorances. That is Har Har Mahadev. Oh Mahadev, तुम हर लेते हो मेरे दुष्कर्मों को. You take away my falseness. You take away my ignorances. Har Har Mahadev, glory be to you. Not Har Har Mahadev, kill that one, kill this one. Nobody should come near me. You don't know Mahadev is behind me. Then who is behind that guy? Mahadev is behind everyone. He is behind Ravana also. He is behind an insect also. He is in the greatest saint also. You need consciousness to see that. You need deep awareness to see that. The moment you see that, there is no game. You'll see it's all a ridiculous play. So Vishwamitra goes there and he wants to now get that Kamdhenu. Now all his real ferocity comes up. When he is not able to get it, then he is now wanting to get equal with Vishwamitra. He says, I'm not going to give up. He wants to be called a Brahma Rishi. That's his goal. Title. I tell you, no, don't put any title on your head. I want to become this yogi, that yogi. Look here, Vishwamitra wants to become Brahma Rishi. Somebody told him, "You're a rishi." He was not happy. He did tapas, a lot of tapas. Then he was told, "Now you're a Maharishi." He said, "No, I want to be a Brahma Rishi." He said, "Brahma Rishi होने के लिए, you have to realize the Brahman. Aham Brahmasmi." That is a Brahman. Brahma Rishi is the one who has realized it and who's in that state, one with the Brahman. You have not reached that. He couldn't take it. I will do tapas. Give up everything. Thousands of years. Tapas. This Vishwamitra story represents us striving to get somewhere. But we are evolving. What I am telling? We all are sadhaks. We want to evolve. We want to purify. We want to go to that level, next level. We keep on talking, no? That level, that level. So I think it is in the Diksha. I get one more Diksha, one more level. I will get to that level. Like Vishwamitra is thinking, I will get to Brahmarishi level if I do level 10, more the levels. And he is not able to get it because the guide, the information given to him that he is a divine soul, but he has ignorance. Even Vashishta is feeling that he has ignorance. One day, I hope it gets dissolved. I pray. That's the higher state. They're praying. Let it happen. There is ignorance, but a divine person. But Vishwamitra is not realizing that. He's doing tapas after tapas. And every time he does his tapas, he accumulates spiritual powers and then he goes and distributes it all in this kind of vivad. He's cultivating something, he's planning something, Shadyantra, do this, do that. And by the time he finishes, his power is getting depleted. Then when the recharge is over, he'll say, "No, I will do again tapas, again go and sit for tapas." Isn't it resembling us? We think we glorify, oh, that Mahatma did this, that Siddha Purusha did this, that Maharishi did this, Saptarishi did this. These are all us only. We only play all these kind of roles. So finally, through all the obstacles, one after the other, including Menaka coming and troubling him, and then after that state also, because the purity is not complete, he falls again, and then he spends a lot of time in that Maya, and then he realizes, oh my God, that is the time he realizes so much of time has gone in all these things. Create, maintain, create new plans and maintain that and do all these things. So much of time went. And more of all, I'm losing my powers. I do something, I come and I waste it in all these things. This realization is grace. The day we realize this, it's nothing in all this, ye yogi, oh yogi, this title, that title. We are Hindus, they are Muslims, they are Christians, we are great, they are not, we are Brahman, they are Kshatriya, they are Shudras, we are Vaishyas. We are powerful, they have no power. We have a lot of followers, they have no followers. We have so much of siddhis, they have nothing. We have so much of qualification, even in the worldly and spiritual field, that I have put all my medals, like we put no medals. And then, what medal do you have? तुम्हारी औकात क्या है? What qualification do you have? So all these competition things and all that, it is such a big ignorance, and I'm sometimes amused and sometimes even saddened to see that it exists even in spirituality, where we are supposed to be aware, awakened, and liberated from this. There we are stuck in all these things. And this is not by fluke. You can see these stories from eons. This has been happening. Even people like Vishwamitra and all got stuck in all these things. But eventually, one day they'll realize. And the day Vishwamitra realizes, he does tapas now in the right direction to remove his flaws. Now it is not to conquer others. Now it is not any other desires, not any title. He doesn't want any title now. He's realized. See, thousands of years he did that. And what happened? Now, in the right direction, when he does it, with little effort, he gains it. And with that spirit, when he goes, and this time he's looking at Vashishta, no competition. He simply melted. Humility is come into him. With that humility and respect, when he touches the feet of Vashishta, from his dhi, from the heart center, the Brahma, Gayatri Mantra, starts resonating and flooding his whole being. And that is the sign that he has become a Brahmarshi. When he didn't want it, it happened. Titles has to come to you. You should not gather it. And titles are for something else, somebody else. Now, the state of Brahma Rishi, when Vishwamitra realized that it doesn't matter whether he's a Brahma Rishi or anything, but you have become like for an Avaduta, it doesn't matter. You go to Topi Amma, you go to Siddhapaji, you go to that Palani Swamiji, Prakashanandaji, all these Siddhas. Very few who are there in the bodies, their names I'm taking. All the Avadutas I have seen, they don't even know they are Avaduta. You go with a shawl for them, you go with a flower for them, you go with a Soneka Mukut, a golden throne also. It is the same. Sab mitti hai. For them, it is just dust. They laugh over what you are so proud about. So, but they are the title of Avaduta. But what does it matter for them? They don't care about your Avaduta ship titles. That is the state. That is real liberation. So the Brahma Gayatri happened to him that time, and he started resonating. And then Vishwamitra Maharishi gave the Gayatri Mantra to the rest of the world. And that is how what we resonated on the Sunday webinar, the story connecting to them. You can say just receiving it from them, literally, because you're near aligned to that truth, you get connected to that. Because all these great giants like Vashishta and all, they're immortals. Saptarishis are immortals. Immortals means they are existing on a different plane of existence. You connect to them in that manner, it will directly, it's like direct tikshas. Provided we understand this frequency, provided our hearts are resonating on that purity level, you can connect with anybody, I'm telling. Even Ramana, they're all there on that existence. They're all there. Nobody is gone. But we must know how to approach them without any titles, without any goals, agendas. If we can do that, it will happen. So that is these states what we are talking about. That is these states all these great giants attain and they evolve beyond it. So one can go on becoming higher, higher, higher and become an Indra. That's also temporary because Indra is not the final goal. Indra is just a state of consciousness where you have won over your Indriyas. But there is beyond that also. The ego is still there. The I is still there. That is why Indra is fighting, right? He creates wars, he creates tension, he creates obstacles also, he creates all his plans so that he is protected and feeling secure. So that ego has to be removed. So that means sadhana is there even beyond Indra. So when Indra does it, he proceeds further to higher posts. Then somebody occupies that post. Somebody means these are our states only when you are internally seeing. That's how it evolves, evolves, evolves and goes. So one who's from the lowest to the highest are all doing sadhanas, different level of sadhanas. So what this Mahima is telling, Arunachala Mahima is telling, even Brahma did worship here. Vishnu did here, means the highest positions also did at the Tejolinga. And the lowest also are doing. We saw Gandharvas, the Devis, the Dikpalakas, and Siddhas, and Yogis, and Rishis, and Maharishis, and Saptarishis, and the higher gods and goddesses, Brahma, Vishnu. They all did here. Here means where? We all have to ultimately meditate on the self only. The goal is there only. You have to come close and then hover around your soul. That is pradakshina. You have to be hovering around here only. In the start, we are hovering in the world. Everywhere we are wandering around. Then we come closer, closer, closer. Then we are only hovering around Shiva all the time, 24/7. You are on that only. That is pradakshina. You're getting it? These are internal, what I'm telling, macros. If you don't understand it, then are we get the desire to go and do it outside the Giri Pradakshina. You do the Giri Pradakshina there because your attention is always on that and it's a tapas. You're spending time, energy, and life connecting and thinking of Shiva all the time and then walking slowly in deep awareness around the hill, Pradakshina. Then it starts absolving all your previous karmas. That is outside. But if you are sitting and meditating and hovering around your soul, if you are all the time there, then there also your sins gets absolved. Are you getting the whole thing? So that is Arunachala Mahima. I think we have less people today because they thought it's not going to happen. Actually, I forgot. I don't remember sometimes. I was busy today and I didn't put that link. I thought I'd put it, but then in the end I came to know I didn't put it. So you can just keep a watch at 9 o'clock. If nothing comes up also, you can just log in. Or you can even message me today's link or something like that. Then I'll remember, oh, I have to put the link. Anyways, but it's fine because these remain as recordings. They can anytime see it. So today's session also is important. It connects the dots here. Now we are in the 6th chapter of glory of various tirthas around Arunachala. And then we came to 7th, the glory of various tirthas. In that, we yesterday understood how Gautama Rishi is talking that how the hill was a mass of fire in the Satyuga, then it became the jewels, and then it turned into gold, and then the emerald in the Kali Yuga. So in the Kali Yuga, in the Satyuga, in the Krita Yuga, when it was just a mass of fire, 30 yojanas spread out, those days, at that time, the Devas, Maharishis, they circumambulated it. And they said, cool down, please settle down, because the fear is too much. Everybody cannot worship you in that manner. So Arunachala gradually became cool. So externally you're telling it became cool. Here what happens is the same thing. When you are very close, you are blazing, you are illuminated, you are light. Imagine Malaleshwari or Jesus Christ or Mahavatar Baba or Ramana or Ramalinga Swami. Illumined. That is a tej. But can everybody know? You can't even go to such close to such persons because they are light. To approach Mahavatar Baba, you have to raise your consciousness. He is not gone. He's there. But he's not going to cool down. See, Arunachala cooling down. Do you see this? Cooling down means you have to reduce your frequency. Why will anybody who's in that bliss reduce their frequency? You have to raise your frequency to them, then you have an interaction at that level. How did we do the activating the light body? The meditation on the light masters, what we did last year. Weren't we sitting there and invoking and raising our consciousness to get connected to them when we do satsang based on what they have taught? You start vibrating at that level. That is how you attract their grace. Invoking doesn't mean you sit where you are and not wanting to raise your consciousness, but then you are calling, come, 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 oh God, you come, oh ascended master, come down, come to my, but you are not refusing to raise your, nobody is going to come down that way. until it's a very, very genuine cause. Some cases you can see the stories where the great ascended masters like Mahavatar Baba, they appeared. They don't appear to everybody. They appear to somebody who's having that intensity and whose consciousness is raised. So it's like somebody has raised here, they come down little, we meet at a common end. You are here, they are never going to come down here. They are here. You have to raise your consciousness, at least to some extent, where that cooling down can happen. Because that's the meaning of this Shiva cooling down. Too much of Tej. You cannot bear it. Who cannot bear it? But Maharishis can bear it, but Maharishis are thinking about somebody who's below them. They are unable to come even close to you. How can they come close to you? So you come down. So if I'm asking you one question, now if Shiva comes down and cools down as the hill, Maharishis and Devas are telling everybody, we can connect with you, but for others. So he cools down for others. Where do the Maharishis and Devas go? You think they would come down and circumambulate around the hill? No, they are seeing that hill in the higher frequency as fire itself. Their consciousnesses at that level. They know they are directly interacting with the effulgence of that hill. That's what I say. Wherever your state of consciousness, that is how you look at that hill. That's how you'll interact with it. God, ascended masters, well, like Bhagavan Ramana. You can be looking at him and perceiving him at different levels and experiencing him at different levels. What one is experiencing, Ramana, will not be the same others. For somebody, it's just a samadhi. Until you touch the samadhi, you might not feel anything. Until you look at the photo of Ramana, you cannot feel anything. For somebody else, not necessary. Just a little contact or thought. You don't need to physically be there, but thought level also, you can connect and have great experiences. And for some people, even thought is not needed. The vibration, frequency, without thought, without seeing. And they can still have powerful experiences with the Guru Mandala. Depends on where we are. Vaikhari Madhyama Pashyanti Paramani, 4 states. If you want to understand this, there in the courses, Gayatri Sadhana, what we did on Saturday, it's come in the courses. There also I've explained these 4 states of how to do sadhana at the Vaikhari level, Madhyama level, Pashyanti level, Paravani level, and even all the levels, integrating them deeply. Because if you do that, your koshas, your subtle bodies will start purging, cleansing, healing. And whatever you do through awareness is very, very powerful, because awareness means you're doing it directly in your subtle bodies. You have become subtle. That is why you can do subtle sadhana. If you have not become subtle, then you need to do gross sadhana. You need a yantra in front of you. You need a mantra. You need a rosary bead to catch on. You need karma kanda. All is fine. So you see this all recommended. Everything is there. So when you are in a certain state, you don't look down and say this is not needed. For you it is not needed, but it's needed for others. Let others do. No problem. But it is foolish. You say because they are doing, even I will do. They need it, they are doing. Do you need it? What do you need? Something on a deeper level. Do that wherever you are. So do I discard? Not necessary. Because Vaikhari, Madhyama, Pashyanti, Paravani, these 4 states are combined. They are together. When you are doing something on a gross level also, there is a higher existence, right? Like if I am this body right now, this is Vaikhari level. This is the physical level, right? But the physical has a subtle level also. Vaikhari say, Madhyama also it is there. That you cannot remove because it's come from there, right? Madhyama means the physical has a prana also. Prana has a mental body also. Mental has a Jnanamaya kosha also. And then Anandamaya kosha also. These have come from the subtle there. So I cannot deny that it's not there, though I may not see it. For me right now, I can't see it. But that doesn't mean it's not there, because whatever I am right now, whatever we are, this physicality is coming from the Sukshma only. So they all are there. When I'm talking here, they are also moving. What is the Shabda that I'm talking from? It was a few kshana back, a vibration. This word that is coming, it was just a few moments back, a thought in my head, and maybe half a kshana, half a moment back, it was a vibration, a tarang, and before that, it was light. From light, vibration, vibration only then takes thoughts, appearance of thoughts. Then that thoughts appear as words. So when the words is being spoken, all the other things also are simultaneously happening. It depends on how aware you are. If you are aware of all these zones, then it's a very divine act. What you speak will contain the vibration of, because you are aware at all the four levels. You are aware of the four working together alignment. You are aware of the vibration. You are aware of the thought level. You are aware of the physical level and the light level also, Paravani. So that becomes a divine act, divine thought, divine action, divine words. In the physicality, everything is aligned. That's how rishis or maharishis, Ramana Maharishi, for example, if they are talking, that words have power. Whichever words has power, they are aligned. That word is Nada Brahman, Brahmanad. Shabd Brahman is also known as, referred to as. That words have the power to give Shaktipat to someone. That words itself can send somebody into Samadhi. That words can bring vibrations into the body. That is not just Vaikhari. That is an alignment of that. So this is how sadhana must improvise, becoming more aware of all the levels. Look at all our webinars are focused on this, making you aware at all levels. And then you can see the power of that. So this hill cooling down, where we say Bhagavan Arunachala gradually became cool for others. It is just how the Srishti begins. You start light and vibrations. And then you can say this, all the yugas turning into jewels and then gold and then emerald and then stones. Arunachala is today what? Stones and mud. It's come to the grossest form. Why? The yuga what we are is in the grossest state. You reverse the whole thing, we say, oh, humanity is evolving, consciousness is rising, the planet is rising. What is happening? The same thing. As it slowly, it might take hundreds or thousands of years, God knows. Because that's the play of how it goes. Millions of years goes in all this. Slowly. But it will reverse. It comes to the pit bottom, then it goes. Like if your Shakti moves from Sastrara to the Muladhara, it goes there, hits the pit bottom and then moves upward. Here, till when the Shakti is here, Shiva is here, Shakti is here, is Ardhanareshwara, there is no creation. But the moment Shakti leaves, creation begins, Shrishti begins, and then you keep saying it is going on to the Muladhara. Muladhara is the rock bottom. They are very, very far. The suffering is too intense. Duality is very strong. And then the whole Srishti begins returning back. That you say the consciousness is awakening, and then you have concept saying the Kundalini is awakening, Mother Kundalini is awakening, and she's rising upwards. These are all metaphors, and that she's lying asleep there, the Muladhara. Saade teen phere mare hue, 3.5 around the snake. Snake is a symbolism for that Shakti. It is sleeping. What is sleeping? Mother is sleeping. Who is the mother? You and me only. We are also asleep. Kundalini is awake in us, not awake in us. Sleeping. We are in ignorance. तमस में चल रहा है, कलयुग चल रहा है, सोई हुए माँ सोई हुई है अंदर. And so she is awakening. Shaktipat, and then it's rising up. Now my yatra शुरू हो गया. The Shakti is evolving and Shakti is remembering, where am I? Where the hell did I come here? And then it remembers, oh, this is not my home. Shiva, I want to meet Shiva. And she Urdhareta. Then you have all the concepts of Shaktipat and this Kundalini rising and the Funkar Marti, where she goes in a very fierce manner towards this, and anything comes, she just kills. Ma Durga just is fighting wars, killing all the demons and everything because she wants to reach. That's us only. When our Chetana rises and we want to now evolve, we want to liberate, we want to be one with God, God realization, aren't we struggling? Aren't we battling every single day? Durga Shaptati, Mahabharata, Ramayana is having every single day is happening in our life. How many demons are we slaying? Slowly. Durga Shaptati is happening every single day in our life. And that is what we are learning. What are we doing this? Mahayuddh chal raha hai yahan pe. When you read this, when you understand the Mahima, when you connect with Shiva, when you connect with the Shakti, and you start getting thrilled, you start getting the inspiration. You want to go to Arunachala, you want to do what you're doing. Durga Shaptati is in action. Mahishasur Vad. What is Arunachala hill? The destroyer of ego, it is said. The hill is the destroyer of ego. What is ego? Mahishasura. So if you're running towards Arunachala, what does it mean? Mahishasur Vad. You are the Mahishasura Mardini. When you have that intensity like Durga and you say, come what may, I'm going to reach my goal. That's called, you have the grace of Ma Durga and you will win the war. You have become Mahishasura Mardini. Sooner or later, you are going to win the battle. Durga Shaptati is going on right now in our lives. Shumb, Nishumb, Chandamund, Madhu, Ketav. Every day aren't we battling? Slowly we are battling, no? You'll see differences also. You'll see many of these being slain. Chota mota demons are all dying. And that is why when you send reviews, when you send this and all, Bhaiya, my life was like this 2 years back, 3 years back. Now it is so peaceful. Now most of these, now भी reaction नहीं होता. Reaction क्यों होगा? चंड मरने जा रहे हैं. You're not reacting to Madhu Keta, the praise and the insults. It's becoming all like, okay, ठीक है. तो चढ़ा है तो भी कोई चढ़ने, there's no this. Somebody is flattering you. Somebody is insulting and criticizing you. You're still working. Come what may. The external forces cannot stop on that. So Madhu Keta have no influence on you. Chandamunda has no influence. Chandamunda, the distractors, the one who wants to pull you out. Chanda will always tell, this is better, that is better. The moment you want to do sadhana, you want to look into the inner aspect, you want to do something spiritual, Chandamunda will tell, hey, come on, let's go for that movie. ये तो बाद में भी हो सकता है. Let's do that later. There's something more important. Look at this. Something more important. That is Chanda. So one of these demons will only show this is important, that is important. There is nothing important. That illusion which you say, no, 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 not now, we'll do this later. This is very important. So many people tell me this. But here, right now, I have just put a pause on my practices because this is very important has come up. What is more important than your sadhana? Because if this is there with you, that you are able to annihilate that. If this is not with you, what are you going to fight that? Durga Shapsati. If Durga is only not with you. And you say, no, Durga, I'll put it on hold. I'll make her stand at the door. She can wait. Let me just. Doesn't make sense, right? This is all our stories only. That's what I'm trying to again and again make us aware. This Durga Shapsati, Ramayana, Mahabharata is all inside, contemplate inside. We have actually lost our way when we are reading the stories and simply involved and so much focused on the external ritual parts of it. For us, the mother is still outside. For us, it is an outside story. For us, it is once upon a time it happened. This happened some time back. Ramayana happened sometime. Ramayana is happening every single day. Mahabharata is happening every single day. All these are given to us to tell you about how to handle life. When you are told how Ram handled his life and how he become a hero, is The scripture is simply trying to tell you how you can handle your life and how you can become Ram and a hero. How you can become Mahasita. The scriptures are not here asking you to build temples for them and make images and worship them. You are supposed to worship yourself. You are supposed to identify with those roles and play that role like a role model. What we do, we build temples and we are fighting on all that. We are glorifying all that and main काम रह गया. We do all the spiritual practices. The other day, I think yesterday or day before yesterday, Sankashti was there. I was out with one of my friends. We are 4 or 5 friends. So we have a small group. You put wherever we updated. So I was out. My friend was out. So I sent a message. If anybody is free, come today. Because it was a Sunday. This Sunday only. Sunday is a holiday. I said, okay, good time for all to meet. Long time no see. Put a message. Come. Group में message आया. What are we going to do? That's the first question. Now they cannot without booze. I say, okay, if booze is the only reason we have to meet, okay, fine. Chalo, you have booze, I'll be sitting. We do that. So I said, okay. One of our friends said, okay, we'll sit for a. Immediately messages came from them, today is Sankashti. I said, Vari teri Sankashti. I put their message. Pura din bhar, full day, you sat calling Sankashti and you ate all the vengeance in your head. You drank liquor in your head. Body you refrained. Why? Because you're scared of that God. You feel something wrong will happen, or you're greedy. If I follow the protocol, God is going to bless me with something. That is how you're keeping your Sankashti. Sankashti ka meaning kya hai? Internal. Even if you're keeping a fast, it's an internal fast, not the body fast. Mental fast hai wo. I wrote these 3 things. दिन भर खाया पिया सब कुछ. Because the same time, at that time when we were talking about all this Sankashti and all, one guy said a video of mutton being cooked. Hyderabadi chicken or mutton being cooked. And some, I said, what? Sankashti. Meat eaters. But on that day we will refrain. And what will happen to such a mind when it doesn't get? It is waiting for the Sankashti to get over so that it can go and eat all those hens and goats, buffaloes. I've seen all this, even in Christianity I've seen, where people are waiting for that Lent season to get over, 40 days during Good Friday time. I've seen this Shravana Mass and all that. My friend, we wait. कब खत्म होगा? और एक हफ्ता है, और एक 2 दिन है. Last countdown has begun. Because now you want to pounce into that bar and eat all that non-veg and do all the non-veg stuff, which you have refrained for 1 month. So I said, food, khaya piya, alcohol khaya piya, and thirdly, you say, today I'm a very decent person. So I have no sex. We refrain, no? In the families also no sex on that day. No sexual talks, no non-veg jokes also that day. Or maybe it is there. That day they are very pavitra. No sex. But in their mind they will be raping everyone. Literally, because the talks are like that. The eyes are that way. Internally you are doing all the sins. The body you are refraining. Whom are you fooling? I put a word there down. बेवकूफ तो इंसान सबको बनाते बनाते खुदा को भी, भगवान को भी बेवकूफ बना रहा है. If we are fooling each other and we think we are fooling God also, and God is getting fooled, no doubt, but he is not a fool. भगवान को बेवकूफ तो बना रहे लेकिन वो है नहीं बेवकूफ. So if you fool it, he's like that same example, the child. Oh, their child is playing. And the child wants to hide behind the door. You are coming into the house and the child hides behind, and you see the child hiding. Now what do? It wants to do boo to you. Now will you disappoint the child? You will enter as though nothing happened. The child will do boo, and you will like scared, and that will give joy to the kid. बेवकूफ किसने किसको बनाया यहाँ पे? Who made fool of whom? Look deeply. This is how we play with God. This is how we play with all these festivals and things like. We are not aware. We are not conscious of what we are doing. There is a misalignment. मन शरीर कुछ कर रहा है, तन शरीर कुछ कर रहा है, ज्ञान कुछ कह रहा है. Wisdom is saying something, mind is doing something, intellect is doing something, body is doing something, pranas are running in some other direction, scattered. And we call that discipline, and we call that culture. We call that Sanatan Dharma. That's an insult to Sanatan Dharma. This is not Sanatan. Sanatan is alignment. It's oneness. It's integrity. Sanatan is integrity. Sanatan is morality. Sanatan is consciousness. Sanatan is purity. Sanatan is egolessness. So until one becomes conscious and deeply aware, these flaws cannot be caught very easily. That is Durga Shapsati. These all demons are hiding in the name of Chandamunda, Shumba Nishumba, Madhu Keta. So Chandamunda guy is this. Anything, it will give some other importance. Something is more important right now. Do you feel that? Do you feel that every single day? Oh, मैं अपना धर्म है, I have to do my dharma. Family responsibility बहुत है, तुमको क्या कुछ नहीं है. You have nothing to do. For us, there is a lot of dharma, a lot of responsibility. Who gave you that responsibility? God came and gifted it to you. Take this extra responsibility. It is your desires, my dear, your kam vasana. You got entangled, you multiplied, you wanted something or the other, you created karma, rina with them, karmic debt with them. So many janmas, they are only tumbling again and again, sometimes becoming this, sometimes becoming that. Mother becomes a daughter next janma, then daughter becomes a grandmother or your father becomes your maid might become your sister. Same, intertingling. And you are defining them as dharma. No, I cannot do any spiritual tasks right now. अभी बहुत रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी. तुम्हारा कुछ नहीं है. तुम्हारा इसलिए नहीं है क्योंकि वो धीरे धीरे हट गया इन सब चीजों से. You don't have responsibility. Why? That person has realized and not continued with this old fashioned drama. So this time maybe the dharma is there. Next janma you are having dharma. After that you are when will this dharma end? Where is this dharma rising from? Karma. It is rising from karma. Karma is rising from where? Kama. Your desires. Until you become aware, you cannot get out of this circuit. You will keep justifying. That is Chandamunda. Chandamunda keeps distracting like this only. It will never allow you to go to the truth. These two guys, demons, which is there, Durga Shapsati, Chandamunda, they are completely holding on to you. Something or the other, one will keep distracting you. That is good. This is good. This is good. The other is, it will not allow you to see the truth. Whenever the truth comes, something it will justify, something it will tell, something it will fool. We keep fooling ourselves. Chandamunda is very prachanda, that means, in our life. And iska baap hai Dhumralochan. Chanda and Mund supply energy to Dhumralochan. Dhumralochan. Lochana. Dhumra. Dhumra means smoke. Dhumralochan means a smoked intellect, जिसका बुद्धि के सामने धूम्र है. Clouded vision, clouded intellect is called Dhumralochan. That asura which is sitting and clouds your intellect and not gives you a clear understanding, clear clarity of what's happening in life. Why? I'm not able to see anything. I'm not able to understand. So I remain in ignorance. I keep continuing the same ignorance. Dhumralochan is strong in my life. Why? Because Chanda and Munda are sitting and giving it support. My dear, this is Durga Shapsati. Simply sitting and chanting and chanting and chanting and chanting and chanting and worshipping, nothing is going to happen. Of course, it will happen. By that grace, this will open up. The real internal Durga Shapsati will open up. And then you will understand all these asuras are not outside. It will not come by singing bhajans on Navaratris. Every night is a Navaratri for me. Every night I have to be conscious, day I have to be conscious. I have to awaken the Durga in me. And I have to battle these demons one by one, slowly but surely. Then Durga Shapsati has worked in your life. Same way Ramayana has worked in your life, Mahabharata has worked in your life, the Bible has worked in your life, Quran has worked in your life. It must become a walking path. Guru Granth Sahib, which is there, that has become a part of your life. Buddhism, the teachings of Buddha, Jainism, the teachings of Mahavira, all these have come into our life. Otherwise, they remain just as a formality. And I'm telling you, most of the time, religions and your spiritual practice are only justification of how to postpone things, procrastinate, and not let the real work do. Real work is this. What does Meda Rishi tell the king and the businessman who lost everything and comes there to the forest? You are Durga Shapsati, and I'm telling, I don't know if you remember it also. One guy is kicked out from his family and is disappointed by his family and comes, his business, all the litigation problems, and he leaves, disappointed comes. The other is a king who is disappointed again from his responsibilities there and some political stuff going on there. He wants peace. Both come to the Aranya forest, and there they find Medha Rishi sitting. See, Medha Rishi. Do you understand this? Yesterday we did Gayatri Sadhana in that. Medha is what? The five faculties of intelligence. Medha is higher intelligence. Now you understand Medha Rishi sitting in the forest. It is a higher intelligence. Ignorance, two types of ignorance are moving toward the higher intelligence to find guidance. And there also, when they come, the king is wondering. They are getting peace. Both are saying, wow, what peace in this Aranya. I have never found such kind of peace in my palace. The other says in my business and samsara, it's not. Both are enjoying the peace. But then their mind is troubling. They have come to truth. But Dhumralochan, due to the cloud, Chandamunda is there, distracting them, not allowing you to sit there also quietly. So Chandamunda is playing in their mind. What they are playing? The king is sitting there and wondering, what a relief. But who must be handling the throne now? Are they handling the kingdom well? And the businessman who left everything and came there said, what must my wife be doing? What must my children be doing now? Obsessed with, attached with his children. One is attached with his kingdom, one with his people. Chandamunda. Both are having a conflict there and are creating delusions, because that is how the Dhumralochan, the Vivek is dull. They're sitting there and then they meet Medharshi. By the grace of whom they are able to see the truth now. Medharshi, higher awareness, higher intelligence. Pragya is higher awareness. So, do you understand how this Viveka acts? Maha Gayatri Sadhana, what we did. The Dhi awakens, Buddhi part, center of the heart, what we are saying, from where Vishwamitra is, that whole radiant start. That's the self, the start of the soul. That is the point of light. That is Arunachala. That point. Dhi. Dhi is Arunachala. That's first point. Bindu. Sri Chakra's Bindu. So there is Dhriti, there is Smriti, there is Pragya, there is Medha. One is higher intelligence, higher awareness, higher memory, higher will. All these five faculties clean the Manda Buddhi. Buddhi. So, Dhiyo Yona Prachodayat. Om Bhurbhuvasvaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yona Prachodayat. It clears the intellect. It finishes Dhumralochan. Ma Gayatri Sadhana will finish Chandamunda and Dhumralochan. If you want, it's still there. The courses. Shiftingintoawareness.com courses, you will see there. Antakarana Shuddhi, one course. That is full on Ma Gayatri. Deep, it is very, very deep. If you do it regularly for a couple of weeks to months, you will definitely see a lot of changes, purity happening. It's basically meant for purity. Purity of the intellect, Antakarana. Man, Chitta, Buddhi, Ahankara. These four elements are called Antakarana. So do you get this? These demons which are there. Chandamunda supports the Dhumralochana, and there is Madhuketav and Shumba Nishumba. All these guys, Shumba Nishumba is mask. Shumba is their external mask. Like what I said, the friend story. Outside all great, Sankashti, this, wo vrat, ye vrat, outside. In the public, that is Shumba. It will keep pretending and showing off some other face. Actual reality is something else. Outside it is showing, I'm a this yogi, I'm a that yogi, I'm on this path, this is my guru, I do this sadhana. Fake, it's a mask. What you do really, you only know. Shumb. So that is external mask. Nishumb is when you come home, what you are. The real facet of you. Outside you are pretending to be something. This yogi, this sadhana, this path, that Hindu, Muslim, you talk about great. In the house, you don't talk these things. In the house, you take another mask. I'm a father, I'm a mother, I'm a husband, I'm a wife, I'm a brother, I'm a sister. These things will be prominent. Nishumbha. Two masks. Are you seeing the whole thing? So this connects to which is that guy? Madhukaitab connects and makes your Mahishasura strong. Chantamunda makes your Dhumralochana strong. And Shumbanishum makes your Rakta Bija, that Asura, strong. Rakta Bija is repeatedly you go on creating more because of the masks. You pretend and you continue with that same drama only. Rakta Bija. That Rakta Bija will continue that because of Shumbanishum. In Chantamunda, it will keep your Dhumralochan. Dull intellect, you will continue in ignorance, pretending and giving excuses, procrastinating and dull. And Madhuketava, the praise and insult, good and bad, flattery and this, all nice things you are favoring, bad things you are rejecting. That Tattvainus, Madhuketava, that gives rise to Mahishasura. Mahishasura has different 6 forms. He keeps changing forms. The 6 forms of Mahishasura is nothing but the 6 forms the Kama can take, the desires can take. The power of desire, Kama, that keeps Mahishasura strong. So all these asuras put together, they all nourish the Mahishasura. They become very, very prominent. Then you can't kill it. See, one thing I'm pointing out right now, how difficult it is in our life to see this. One demon. That is why you need Durga in life. Who's Durga? Bhairavi, uninterrupted awareness. Who can uninterruptedly stare at all these demons and see the way it is. Then your war is going on. If you are actually Ma Durga, if it is active in you, it will simply see this in clarity, in transparency, without hide and seek, and all the time it is watching. The demons will be slain one by one. Parashakti, this is the webinar that we did. So I am telling you, sadhanas are external and internal. External are all these formalities, karma kanda. Internal is this sharpened awareness. You can simply sit there and do sadhanas. Not just sit, even in the Jagrit, Swapna and Sushupti. Jagrit we are talking mainly, not the other. Jagrit means day and night. Whenever you are awake, day or night. Awake times, your awareness is awake. Ma Durga is awake. When it is awake, it will keep slaying the demons. It will not allow anything to rise. Ma Durga, you see, is compromiseless, uncompromisable. Nobody can trick her. Every demon tries to trick her in this or that. She is simply slaying them. Ruthless. Durga is ruthless. When you have awakened awareness, you are going to be ruthless. You cannot give excuses there. Fault is a fault, flaw is a flaw. You see it. That's it. Not in others, in self. That is the power of Durga Shapsati. An awakened Ma Durga within you will start slaying, and your sadhana is happening, your war is happening daily. This is given knowledge by Medha Rishi to these two guys. The whole Mahima of Durga Shapsati, the power of Durga. That is how Durga Shapsati came into existence. Medha Rishi is giving to two ignorances. That ignorances are us. Medha Rishi is the higher intelligence in us. And there Medha Rishi says this very, very clearly. Listen carefully. I'll end it with this. I didn't go too much here, but it's not different. We are talking about the Shakti aspect only. Medha Rishi simply says, are you ready for the battle? Because this is Mahayuddha. Medha Rishi is telling this is not the ordinary Yuddha, this is Mahayuddha. Are you ready for it? Mind, heart, and soul, are you ready for it? If you are ready, the Parashakti will be there. Akhand ke Yuddha. And it is going to be a Mahayuddha, Medha Rishi tells them. Not the ordinary Yuddha. I do one sadhana and tomorrow I am expecting, why nothing, no change happened. I do one Giri Pradakshina and say, did anything happen to me? How many karmas went? Mahayuddha, Durga Shapsati went on for thousands of years. It's somewhere it's like 5,000 years also. 5,000 years. Mahayuddha. Why Mahayuddha he is saying? Because the ego will not die so easily. Are you getting this symbolism? He is warning before only, it's going to be a Mahayuddha. Because inside these demons are going to simply drag you. And the war is going to get postponed every day. Mahabharata, you see, Sham ko Shank bajta tha. Suryastra hote hi. When the sun set, they will blow the Shank. The whole war will stop. Next morning when the sun rises, again it will start. Do you see in the Mahabharata this? How many days went? So long Yuddha. This is not an external Kurukshetra Yuddha in the geographical Kurukshetra. This is our Kurukshetra. In the morning, our Yuddha begins when we wake up. Till we sleep, Shank basta, then it's gone. When you're sleeping, your war is postponed. Next morning, you wake up, it will start. War within us. This is how beautiful these scriptures are. It's all about us. So Durga Shakti, Medha Rishi says, the Medha Rishi is the Guru Tattva within us. Is the Viveka. He is telling the Agyan part, ignorant part in us, the ego. He is telling it's going to be a Mahayuddha, a long war. Are you ready? Or do we have more excuses? He says, are you ready? The exact words. Are you ready to do what you had come here to do? This life, what you have taken, is not to become a king or a businessman. There is some deep work for you to do. You are getting offended there, you are getting problems there in the kingdom and in the business, and you are getting dejected. So that you can be reminded of your main goal, what you come here to do, human birth you have taken. That war has begun now. Are you ready? So he reminds, are you ready to take on the life purpose, the main purpose of what you have done, come here to do? And that's the same thing I'm asking in this session here through this. The Arunachala Tattva also is asking the same thing only. Are we ready? Shiva Tattva is asking that only. Are we ready? If we say, no, boss, we need little more time, actually, my son says he wants to go venture into a new business and I got to support him. And, Shiva will never say, hey, no, 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 you have to got to come here. He'll say, Tatastu, be blessed. He's not going to keep even follow up with you. Your wish. Play the game how long you want. Maybe another 24 janmas, he is fine. For him, 24 janma is akshana. For us, it is long. It's all about the journey. Finishing is all about not about how much you do. It is all about how much you realize. साधना करते रहो, साधना करते रहो, साधना करते रहो, ये साधना करो, वो साधना करो, 1000 टाइप का प्रैक्टिसेस करो, ये लेवल दीक्षास, वो लेवल दीक्षास, hundreds of scriptures, hundreds of rituals. क्यों कर रहे हो? And that Mahapurusha in Gangotri tells me clearly, जितना जटिल अहंकार उतना जटिल तुम्हारा तपस्या, उतना जटिल तुम्हारी साधनाएं. So many sadhanas. Why? Simple realization नहीं है. And if you simply sit and meditate and become deeply aware, and you simply become aware of this demons, the 9 demons inside, and you call on for that power, connect to the light, Arunachala, connect to Ma Parvati, and call on to that power, give me strength. May your prayers be like that. But I want to annihilate all these things. I have a deep desire to rise beyond all this. I want to annihilate. I cannot do it alone. I need your presence. You connect to Arunachala, you connect to the higher Tattva, they will come rushing toward because you have given the permission, you have asked for it. Mahayuddha, you are ready. You have realized the purpose of why you are born. The whole Shrishti, Paramatma, Param Tattva will be with you. What like Meda Rishi is telling, the Parashakti will be with you if you have realized your goal and you are moving towards it. Simple. That's the only sadhana that we have to do it. Becoming aware, deeply aware, becoming conscious why we are doing what we are doing, for what sake is this, where am I heading, am I still in ignorances, or it's all about the self, sitting and contemplating again and again, again and again. So when you say Brahma did tapas in the Brahma Tirtha or Vishnu Tirtha, Vishnu did, and so many Devi Devasas are doing, they're circumambulating, they're doing tapas, Parvati is doing tapas. What is this tapas? This only. Now Parvati only, in the further chapter, she will come to Arunachala and she, next chapter only, in fact after this, she is going to be troubled now by Mahishasura. How Mahishasura is trying to enter her place where she is there. That is us, Parvati is us. When you are coming close to Shiva, Mahishasura will attack you. All this Chanda Munda, everything will become very strong, distracting you, justifying, everything will stand up there. Flattery, praise, insults, everything will come. All kind of drawbacks, all kind of doubts. Shumb Nishum, all the masks, different masks will pretend, sometimes this, sometimes that. All these demons will start rising up. For that time, you need the deep awareness of Bhairavi, uninterrupted awareness. And for that, you need satsang. Satsang means Satya ke sang. You have to be abiding with the truth always. Listen to the truth, read the truth, contemplate on the truth, meditate on the truth, be aware of the truth. Satsang, that is called satsang. Being with the truth is called satsang, not listening to discourse, lectures. Being with the truth, abiding only in the truth and not compromising, not leaving that truth. That is the Mahayuddha, staying with it. Staying with the truth is staying with Shiva. Truth only Shiva. Satyam Shivam Sundaram. Satya is that. Satpurusha is Sat Chit. Sat is Shiva. Satya. Truth is Shiva. So abiding in the self is Satsanga. You are Chit. You, when you abide with Sat, you become Sat Chit. Ananda. The blissfulness of being together with that. As simple as that. Okay. So I didn't think I went any further. This is yesterday's chapter only. I was just discussing how Arunachala cooled down and became the hill for others. Now you have a clear idea of what is the meaning of cooling down. Hmm? It's how the yugas are spreading, because after it cool down only further Srishti will happen. If it is in the light form, where Srishti? There is no Srishti. It has to cool down. Light has to become vibration, vibrations become matter. That's the whole concept of these things happening. So at that level, Devi Devatas, Rishis are able to tolerate light, but the others are not. Are you getting? Different stages, parts of us only. Let us become aware of today's satsang, today's session. I would recommend, if you want, listen to this today's episode. It's I feel it's very deep. It can help you understand what are you doing, what are you seeking. We are running to 100 places and seeking this and that. Is it there? Is it this? You understand today's session very deeply. You will understand there is no need to run anywhere. I just need to sit and become more aware and conscious. The God, the Shiva, the Shakti, everything is within me. The light is within me. I need to sit and be fully aware. If you want help in awareness and all, you can go and do the courses that I put there, because I don't do these deep things public. You have to be structured there, and you can see where we do deep practices there. So for learning, you have to have that kind of a place. So here it is informative. So let's become aware of the blessings in our life. The Guru Tattva is always working in different ways, through books, through courses, through the YouTube videos. So many Guru Tattvas, so many beautiful information on the internet, and the books, and everything is there. What is not there? That's all the Guru Tattva working. Every creature is trying to help us. Every person is trying to help us, including your enemies, including all the good, bad, ugly people in life. All the Shiva Tattva only. Simply those who support you in life, Shiva Tattva helping you move in your journey. Those who do not support you and oppress you or give you suffering also are supporting you, because you will get more deeper to the self. You'll stop connecting with this world outside. You'll understand the falsity, and they are all giving you opportunity to move towards the right direction, because they are showing you what is false. That is also Shiva Tattva. Guru Tattva it is. Good, bad, ugly is all Guru Tattva working simply and making you turn deep inward. So contemplate on that. You'll see the Guru Tattva is right here in my space. The Param Tattva, Shiva Tattva is within me. And deeply contemplate and feel joyful about the presence of the Lord in my life in so many ways I have not recognized. I have been able to recognize, or I am recognizing, that's by your grace. Dhumra Lochana is dying, then only I can see it. Only when the Viveka, awareness is becoming sharper, I can see it. So without my permission, again, this is being cleansed. I never asked for, but my evolution I can see. Slowly, my Viveka is being cleansed. So you are the doer, you know it. You are doing only best for me. I can see that. I realize the grace in my life. I deeply connect to that grace, Tattva in me, the Guru Tattva in me, the Param Tattva in me, that is constantly there with me even without my call. I just have to become available to it. That availability is called surrender. I would still suggest those who are deeply interested, do this whole session now again, little more in deep awareness, so that you can grasp, you can close your eyes and understand the whole thing, and by the end you'll have lot of realizations. When you have realizations, you connect to that realization and feel grateful from inside that all the myths are being cleared in my life. all the smoke is being removed, doubts are being cleared. Listen to satsangs, so much of doubts will, chunks of doubts will fly away out of your life. When it flies away, just give gratitude. Something is gone from me. God knows how many janmas one wrong idea can keep me stuck. So many things are going. Isn't it grace? Isn't it purification? Just by deep awareness. So become aware of the grace in your life right now, in the moment. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamadayachate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. May we all be blessed. May we all be free. May we all evolve. Arunachal Shiva. See you tomorrow at 9.